So, ladies, there's a Nigerian actress. Her name is Binta Mogaji. I don't know if you heard the story, but basically, she had her first and only child at 40, and she was giving some advice. She said to all of us that if you have not had a child by the time you're 35, just go and find any man and get pregnant. She did that with her fellow actor, so I suppose she's tried and tested the theory.
Yeah.
But what you guys think? Would you ever do something like that? Or what do you think of her advice?
I think when it comes to advice, you should really take people's advice with a pinch of salt and do what's best for you. Personally, I think the advice of just because you feel like time is running out and you should now find someone and just have a child with, but do you know that person well enough to bring a child into the world with this person? That's my first question. And time is running out. Where are we getting this idea that time is running out? Okay, maybe biologically we can think about, okay, it might be harder to conceive a child, but to advise women to, if they're getting older, to find someone and have a child with, to me is a bit, I personally wouldn't do it. I feel like someone who I'd want the father of my child to be, or children to be, someone that I know, someone that I know well, someone that we've kind of have that chemistry, not someone that I've just found we're just like, okay, let's just have a kid together, because bringing a kid into the world is a big thing. It's not something small. So for me personally, again, I always say, be people's advice, you take it with a pinch of salt, and you always do what kind of works for you and what works for your life. So I'm not sure what you ladies also think.
Sakina, you're a bit quiet over there.
My throat is dry. Question now, wow. Listen, I have no idea. Honestly, I'm definitely concur with what you said about take advice and any advice, not just in this particular section. Any advice with a pinch of salt. You've got to align it with what works with you, with your morals, etc. But parts of me is also saying, as a 40+ woman myself, it's good advice, or yeah, take the advice and run with it fast. Because maybe she's coming from a back, like, I'm not here to judge her, but maybe she's coming from a point of view that her plan and her objectives in life is to have a child anyway, regardless of financial status, whoever the person is. She doesn't need your money, she's coming to do it herself. So if that's her something in her household, that's their household, it's not my household though. But I haven't done it, and I don't think I would do it, but it sounds like good advice.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a
catch-22.
I can't see myself doing it, because if I would have done it. Listen, that girl that I used to be of yesteryear would have done that and had like 10 children by now. But I don't have any children, let's put it that way. So no, but like ultimately, what works for you, honey bun?
Works for you. It must work for her, because for her to come out and say that, it must work for her and her household and her lifestyle, which is fair enough. But again, to me, it's just, there's other options, ladies. There's other avenues that you can. But I do understand that sometimes for women, like, having a child is a big thing, which it is. But there's also other avenues of having children without having to find someone and just thinking, oh, let's just have a child.
There is, but then the other side of me is just thought as well. No offense, but something just in my head. But what's the difference between what she did versus someone going to a sperm donor?
Actually, the difference is that she found someone that she knows. And I suppose in a way that's maybe, I don't know, like, no way is the right way, and everybody's entitled to their own ways of doing things. But I suppose she knew who she's having a child with, and maybe that would give somebody a bit more comfort in terms of, oh, actually, this is my co-worker, he's well known, he's well established, good genes. So yes, I suppose that's the difference between what she did and going to a sperm donor in a way.
Nasha, you think you're funny. You haven't even said what you feel about it. I'm waiting for you to drop yours. Like, I'm waiting.
I mean, again, I think you both have covered it, because each to their own at the end of the day. I'm not looking for just any man to be the father of my children. Like, I want to know who I'm tying my life to. And even with all the money in the world, I think it's important personally, as my own personal preference, to know who will be the father of my children. And because there'll come a time where your children will ask you about your decisions, and you want to be able to answer them with confidence. And if my child ever asks me about who's my father and all of that, I want to be in a position to be able to answer that with with chest.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean anyone that does it any other way can't. I suppose there's also things like freezing your eggs, which is becoming more
of a thing.
Now. And I suppose maybe it costs a lot, so maybe not everybody can do it. But I think each to their own based on your circumstances. But in my own personal opinion, I will wait until God brings me the right man.
So, madam, you wait past 40. You way past 50.
I don't mind freezing my eggs.
Come back here, yeah? You see her handle? Ask her.
Oh, to ask me. On that note, I think let's just pause it there. Like, I hope you enjoyed that. And it'll be so interesting to find out what everybody else thinks about this topic. So let's keep it trending. How about that?